Dude, I can't even imagine what Storm Point's going to be in a year's time, like in terms of just getting updates and getting town takeovers, all that kind of fun stuff. Like, there's so much space and there's such a great environment to add more things that I'm really looking forward to the future.
Oh no, there's another squad attacking.
We got map number 4, the latest addition to this group. We got Storm Point. I'm super excited to talk about this map. I think what I get excited with Storm Point is thinking about how far every map has come that has been added to the game. You look at Kings from the beginning to now, Worlds from the beginning to now, and even Olympus to an extent. Dude, I can't even imagine what Storm Point's going to be in a year's time, like in terms of just getting updates and getting town takeovers, all that kind of fun stuff. Like, there's so much space and there's such a great environment to add more things that I'm really looking forward to the future.
Yeah, Storm Point, obviously the most recent addition. It was designed by the same person who made World's Edge, which is Rodney Reese. It's also the largest map we've had to date. It's about 15% larger than World's Edge. The new game director, Stephen Ferreira, expanded on that, and that we can expect this map different from the earlier maps, which were designed with a singular experience in mind. Storm Point, they created a map that will seamlessly evolve alongside our live service updates for years down the road. That's a pretty fun quote. I think that it's
Mm-hmm.
exciting just because it outlines a more clear roadmap for what town takeovers may look like, what game changes may look like in terms of potentially new PvE, new vehicles, new weapons, new throwables, new legends, all these things that will definitely play an impact on the environment and the map. Sounds like Storm Point has all those boxes checked.
Yeah, for sure. Mm-hmm.
Um, and so we're excited about that. The craziest thing about Storm Point is it is on a slope. The entire map, the vertical differences here, we've never seen anything like it. The highest point is on Storm Point is just so much higher than anything else like it. We have the lightning rod at the very top going all the way down to the beaches of, the fish farm. So drastic difference there, which will definitely affect end games as well as just rotations throughout the early and middle game. Um, and really, the colors are beautiful. We have the return of Triadents, we have Prowlers, roaming AI, spiders, flyers, all sorts of things. This is pretty much the tropical map that I think everybody really wanted and was a slam dunk. I'm really happy with how this map looks and plays.
Everyone was dreaming of the jungle map. They got the jungle map, like 100%, and I think they killed it. It looks amazing from every angle. I still remember just being like taken away with how beautiful it was when we got to do the early access and see it early, and we're just right in the dropship for the first time. The color of the water is so amazing. Like, they just do such a great job with this map, and like other ones, it did introduce a different play style, kind of. Like, we got this new blend of this huge steep incline, fighting uphill, fighting downhill, and these really long lines of sight that have caused us to do marksman episode after sniper episode, just in terms of style of combat. So this one has its own unique features, and really is just great. And the competitive scene is really excited to have this map as well, it sounds like, which maybe that's just going to be a Rodney Reese staple at this point. And I'm really excited to see what happens in the future, like I said, with this one.
Totally. Let's dive into the lore. So this deserted island wasn't always so deserted. Part of the new Antilia archipelago, this beautiful island teeming with plentiful resources was one of the first places where early IMC expeditions made landfall on the planet Gaia. However, the area was isolated and beset by tropical storms. A permanent settlement was established on a nearby coastline, today known as the city of Suotamo, and power generating storm catchers were built on Storm Point to meet the growing city's energy needs. When the IMC pulled out of the Outlands, the storm catchers fell into disrepair. Eventually, one finally stopped working, but not on its own. It had been pulled down, and its absence exasperated the storm that surrounded the island. A survey of the area revealed the remains of several unique settlements built across the centuries, but no survivors. The people of Gaia abandoned the island for many years, apart from occasional scavenger or pirate group that attempted to loot what was left behind. Until, of course, it caught the eye of the mercenary syndicate, who saw it as a perfect location for the Apex games.
It's obviously a newest map, and there's a lot of lore that I think is going to go down, starting with Bangalore's ship. And do we see her brother? Like, I think that's the big mystery coming up that we're hoping to find out about. But yeah, it's got a very solid backstory. And in terms of the lore, it's another one where I think there's so much potential. You got a huge map like this. Uh, there's room for there to be crazy thing after crazy thing anywhere in it.
Yeah, certainly. I think that it's just so dense in its map design. We
Hmm.
really haven't had trees, to be honest. Trees are kind of rare. We had a forest kind of that was burnt down on Kings Canyon that was essentially replaced after a game update. And then World's Edge is just fire and ice. There's really no trees there. And
Hmm.
Olympus has artificial trees here and there, but having a dense jungle like this is quite the new look, and one that we
Hmm.
were really excited about, from just a gunplay perspective.
Let's talk about the legends though. And the first thing you have to talk about when we look at this map is that there are no redeploy balloons, except for the one that's very far up in the north off to the side. Because of that, Valkyrie is so powerful. The ability to redeploy and have a function that we're so used to having at all times in Apex and accessible to everyone at any point is pretty major, I would say, and something that definitely rockets her to the top of our list in terms of legends for this particular map.
Yeah, without a doubt, Valkyrie has a massive strength here. The passive, tactical are incredibly versatile as well, but the ultimate is just incredible. And when you think about the whole map being on a slope, when you think about legends that operate well in open areas where they're having to go through uphill battles, Gibraltar, Bangalore, really, really strong legends. I
Hmm.
lean more on the Gibraltar side. Shay's been picking up more Bangalore as we've been exploring the map. And there's a lot of strength packed into both those kits on pushing and pulling, going through, covering areas. A lot of good things. And I think they both shine on this map
Hmm.
as well.
Yeah, and in terms of that kind of open uphill versatile rotational tools are really important in terms of getting something out of a kit. And so Octane and Wraith are kind of two legends that do that, where you're not just going to be able to get from point A to point B, but you have freedom in how you do it. Wraith can obviously maneuver herself in any way, shape, or form, switch direction if need be. And Octane having the ability to double jump, switch directions, go for different kinds of elevations is totally huge. They're great on any map, but specifically this kind of tough rotations, like you mentioned, all the trees and kind of things, they really stand out. And speaking of the trees, trees equal less visibility. Okay, insert Bloodhound. Easy, easy. The ability to really assist. I think we could put Bloodhound on any list, truly, but I think Bloodhound fits this list very strongly because of the jungle tree environment where it is kind of tough to see people at times. And there's some serious choke points as well with kind of all the spiders and stuff in here. And like we kind of mentioned that with the Kings Canyon thing, being able to clear out choke points with someone like Bloodhound is huge.
Yeah, I think that something we like about all of the Apex maps are how you play them will change on a game to game basis based off of where you drop, where you rotate to, what the end game is. And so there are on Storm Point, you could be in a dense jungle or you could be in an open beach in the middle of water. So there's just so much difference in terms of what your legend or your team comp has to react to depending on the chance that you might end in a different situation. And I think
Hmm.
that our advice is you try to get on top of it no matter what. You try to get to the high ground, you try to rotate on the high side of any circle, and you can do so by keeping Gibraltar, Bloodhound, and Valkyrie on your
Hmm.
team. It's pretty much as easy as that. But like Shay said, Octane, Wraith, Bloodhound, rise to the top in terms of popularity no matter what for the last year of Apex. So they're always good bets. And I think outside of that, we like all the legends, but these
Totally.
are just some that we really think shine on each individual map and
Hmm.
specifically Storm Point here at the end.
Yep.
Boom,
Well
whole
said.
squad down. Hey, brother, not today. Maybe tomorrow.